10 vicious plants that eat animals alive. We are all aware of how plants work, but even in nature, there can be mind-blowing exceptions. There are an amazing variety of plant species that live on our planet. But have you heard of plants that are carnivorous and feed on animals? Today we will get into 10 vicious plants that eat animals alive. Before we begin, welcome to our channel. Don't forget to subscribe, join our zoo community, like and click the bell icon. You'll be very interested to hear what we have to say, so make sure you stick around or you'll miss it. Number 10. Venus flytrap. The Venus flytrap is perhaps the one carnivorous plant that the majority of people have heard about. It might not be the largest of the bunch, but it is certainly the most well-known member amongst its clan. Despite what people might have depicted in films, the Venus flytrap is actually quite small. In reality, the entire plant is no more than half a foot in length, and its sticky, eyelid-like traps are only around an inch in length. It happens to belong to the subtropical wetlands of North Carolina and South Carolina. One thing worth noting about the Venus flytrap is that it uses a very clever tactic in order to cut down on false alarms from falling leaves and pieces of debris. The traps of this plant will only snap shut if an insect touches two different interior hairs in a matter of 20 seconds. Number 9. Moccasin plant. The moccasin plant, which was initially discovered in Southwest Australia, ticks all the right boxes for a meat-eating vegetable. It lures in insects with its sweet smell and then draws them into its moccasin-shaped pitchers, where the unlucky bug is gradually digested. In order to further confuse prey, the covering of these pitchers possess translucent cells, meaning that insects cannot see that the opening is tightly shut, which causes them to make a fool of themselves while trying to escape. What sets apart the moccasin plant from other such carnivorous plants is that it's more closely related to flowering plants, such as apple trees and oak trees, than it is to other carnivorous pitcher plants, which can probably be attributed to evolution of the species. Number 8. Brocchinia reducta. I know what you're thinking, but no, this has nothing to do with broccoli, although it's just as off-putting, especially to those that don't care for carnivorous plants. Brocchinia reducta is actually a type of bromeliad. It belongs to the same family of plants that includes pineapples, Spanish mosses, and a variety of thick-leaved succulents. They originally belonged to southern Venezuela, Brazil, Colombia, and Guyana. Brocchinia is equipped with long, slender pitchers that reflect ultraviolet light, to which insects are drawn to. And like most of the other plants on this list, they give off a sweet scent that's incredibly attractive to the average bug. For quite a while, botanists were on the fence about the Brocchinia being a true carnivore, until the discovery in 2005 of digestive enzymes in its copious bell. Number 7. Cobra lily. The cobra lily is given its name because it looks like a cobra snake that is beginning to attack. Its scientific name is Darlingtonia californica and is a rare plant that belongs to the cold water bogs of Oregon and Northern California. This plant is truly the most menacing of its kind. Not only does it lure insects into its pitcher with its sweet smell, but its closed pitchers have numerous transparent false exits that drain its desperate victims as they attempt to escape at any cost. As odd as it might sound, naturalists have not yet been able to identify the natural pollinator of the cobra lily. It is quite obvious that some sort of insect gathers this flower's pollen and still manages to make it out alive, but it's not known precisely which it is. Number 6. Tropical pitcher plant. The most distinguishing feature of the tropical pitcher plant that separates it from other carnivorous plants is its size. The pitchers of this plant can grow up to over a foot in height, which gives them the perfect advantage to capturing and digesting not only insects but small lizards, amphibians, and even mammals. The unfortunate animals are attracted by the plant's sweet-scented nectar, and once they fall into the pitcher, digestion can take as long as 2 months. There are about 150 species of this plant that are scattered around the Eastern Hemisphere, native to Madagascar, Southeast Asia, and Australia. They are also referred to as the monkey cup, since the pitchers of some of these plants are utilized as drinking cups by monkeys. Number 5. Sundews. Sundews are truly beautiful carnivorous plants. Their green and red leaves are covered with glistening droplets of mucilage that sparkle in the sunlight. The shape of their leaves vary from circular to linear and various combinations in between. Sundews are flat and have loads of tentacles or stalked glands on their upper surfaces. The stalked glands on the leaf margins are longer and help entrap the prey, and those near the center of the leaf are short and also help trap the prey, but mainly secrete digestive fluids. Nearby tentacles and those in contact with the prey all move towards the victim. Movement of these tentacles results when cells on the far side of the stalk grow faster, thus bends the stalk towards the prey. There are almost 100 species of sundews and are usually quite abundant in appropriate habitats. In some areas, the ground is flourishing with these beautiful red glistening plants. Most sundews are small plants with diameters about the size of quarters. Some are quite small, like the pygmy sundews. Others, like the forked sundews, are large. Number 4. Ginlisia. The corkscrew plant, also known as ginlisia, is made up of 21 species and generally grows in wet terrestrial to semi-aquatic environments and are found all over Africa, Central and South America. Ginlisia are small herbs with yellow flowers that make use of lobster pot traps. These traps are easy to enter but impossible to exit, like by use of small hairs growing towards the entrance, or in this case the ever-forward propelling spiral. These plants have 2 distinct types of leaves: photosynthetic leaves above ground and specialized underground leaves to attract, trap, and digest tiny organisms such as protozoas. These underground leaves form hollow tubes under the ground. These tubes have a forward propelling corkscrew shape, and with the aid of constant water flow, small microbes can make their way into these tubes, but cannot find a way out again. When they reach the correct part of the tubes, they will be digested and absorbed. Number 3. Bladderworts. Utricularia, or as they are collectively known as bladderworts, are a group of carnivorous plants that consist of about 220 species. They can be found in fresh water and wet soil as terrestrial or aquatic species, and are present on every continent except Antarctica. They are the only carnivorous plants that make use of bladder traps. Most species have very small traps in which they catch only small prey, such as protozoa. With larger traps, trapping larger prey like water fleas and even small tadpoles is a really easy task. These traps have small trigger hairs attached to a trap door. The bladder, when set, is under negative pressure in relationship to its surrounding area. When the trigger hairs are tripped, the trapdoor opens up, sucks in the insect and surrounding water, and closes the door again, all in a matter of a 10,000th of a second. Number 2. Waterwheel plant. The waterwheel plant is truly a one-of-a-kind carnivorous aquatic plant. It usually feeds on small aquatic vertebrates using a trap mechanism called a snap trap. This plant is mainly made up of free-floating stems. The trap's leaves grow in a bunch of 5 to 9, close to the plant's central stem. The waterwheel plant is a very fast-growing plant and can reach 4 to 9 millimeters in a day, in some cases even producing a new whorl every day. As the plant grows from one end, the other end will continuously die off. The traps basically consist of 2 lobes which fold together to make the snap traps. The openings of the trap point outwards and are covered in a fine coating of trigger hairs, which will cause the trap to snap shut around any prey that comes too close. The trap closes in only 10 milliseconds, making it one of the fastest examples of plant movement in the animal kingdom. Number 1. Butterworts. Pinguicula, or butterworts, are a group of carnivorous plants that make the use of sticky leaves to draw in, trap, and digest insects. The nutrients from the insects add to the poor mineral content of the soil. There are about 80 species that can be found across North and South America, Europe, and Asia. The leaves of the butterwort are succulent and usually give bright green or pinkish in color. There are 2 main cells that can be found on the top side of the butterwort leaves. These cells produce a secretion, which forms visible droplets across the leaf surface and acts like flypaper. The other cells are called sessile glands. They lie flat on the leaf surface and produce enzymes, which aid in the digesting process. There are certain butterwort species that are carnivorous all throughout the year, whilst others form a tight winter rosette, which is not carnivorous. When summer comes, it brings with it new blooms and a new set of carnivorous leaves. And that concludes our list of the 10 vicious plants that eat animals alive. Let us know in the comments section below which one of these seemed the most deadly to you. Thank you for watching Life Hack Giraffe, and as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon, and we will see you next time.